What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well. As for myself, I am doing good, just sitting back down at the desk to get another daily trade recap out of the way. Today, I was not able to take any trades in the morning. Therefore, I did not take any stock trades, I didn't take any small cap trades, and I didn't take any option trades. But what I did do was I took a trade in my futures account last night, and I took another futures trade this afternoon. So we'll take a look at those two trades today. And that's going to be it. So this one should be a fairly short video. I always say that, and then it kind of turns into something that is not. But let's go ahead. No TRADERVUE today because I didn't have any trades to dump out of Thinkorswim. So I'm going to go straight into Thinkorswim real quick so we could look at the SPY. And then I'm going to pull up TRADERVUE just to kind of give you a look at that layout. And then we'll come back over into Thinkorswim to actually review the trade. But I wanted to show the SPY first. So the SPY pre-market sets a high of 422.99. It comes right to 423 and it cannot break it. Kind of chops back down. Market opens. We get this nice wide range green candle. You get this red one to just peekaboo over and then flush back down. Let's take a look at the moving averages right here as the market opens. We have the green below the red. I like to see that if I'm going to go short. Got VWAP kind of mixed in the middle. But look at what the market does. Pushes back down. And when it does so, it gives some pretty nice opportunities. Right here, when the SPY broke this level, you put your stop up on the top side of this, and that is a good entry. You see this never comes anywhere near stopping you out, and this thing just gives you a little more than 2 to 1, looks like it. Definitely gives you 2, but maybe a little bit more than 2 to 1, maybe even 3. But something else I want to show you. You always hear me say I like a fast moving average, which is the 10, I believe, on this chart. And then the slow moving average, which is the 20. Look at how the 20 gives you your second line of defense. That's what I like to call that. So that's why I like to see them stacked like this. Because if I take the trade, I know that I'm going to get support, or I should get support in my direction right there. So you catch it here, you catch it right there. It does break it over here, but let's just look at how this thing moves down. Catches support at the previous high of day, bounces it back up to VWAP, back down to previous high of day, and then it just kind of chops around. These are some ugly candles, though. When you see these candles with these wicks going every which direction, those are ugly. But finally pushes previous high of day. Then look where it catches support. Previous day's close. Back up to previous high of day. Chops around again, using previous day's close as support and resistance. Finally breaks it. And now look where it finally catches support. The hourly 50 moving average. The hourly 50 EMA. Exponential moving average. That thing bounces it right back up to previous day's high. And then we chop on around until the session ends. And now it then came back down testing previous day's close. But that's the importance of having these areas clearly marked on the charts. And for me, it's essential that I have previous day's high, previous day's close, which is down here somewhere, previous day's close, And then, oh, I'm sorry, previous day's high, previous day's low, previous day's close. And then, of course, the hourly 50 moving average. And then you still need to mark your areas on the chart with your lines for previous price action. You notice I got this dotted line right here for previous price action. Look at how it acted as support coming through right there. So very important to look to the left and mark your charts. They say trading is not easy, and it's definitely not, but you can make it a whole lot easier if you use the tools that they provide to make you a better trader. So that's all I'm doing. And I am working on a script. I'm working on a script that I'd be able to use with these moving averages. So once I figure it out and once I kind of test it, I'll probably show it to you, explain how I plan on using it, maybe get some feedback. But let's go ahead and take a peek at TRADERVUE. Like I said, no TRADERVUE today because I didn't have any trades to dump. But this is TRADERVUE. This is how I have it laid out. We have here what they call the dome. I call it the active ladder because that's what it is in Thinkorswim. Got a 2-minute chart here that I flip between a 2 and a 5. Right now it's actually set at 5 so that I can show this trade that I took. The way that they display a trade is a line from where you got in to where you got out. And if I highlight it, it will show you the details of the trade. So I bought one contract, 42.2375. I sold it for 42.35. Closed P&L on that trade was 56.25. I took this trade around 8:30 last night. Stayed in it this entire time. I woke up about 5 o'clock, looked at my phone, saw that I was up pretty good. I took my stop and I brought it all the way up to a 2-minute pivot. Just so happened that that thing pivoted, came back down, smacked me. And you see, it was a good stop because it did kind of pull back. It did go a little bit higher, not much. Probably could have made a few more dollars. But that $56 represents like 3R. I was risking about $15 on this trade. And we'll look at that when I go to review it inside of Thinkorswim. I took one more trade over here. Right there. Again, they display trades with a line. So this line is going from higher to lower. So that was a short. The line is green, which means that it was a profitable trade. If it was red, that would have been a negative trade. I'll highlight that one. This was a short. They always show it to you buy and sell. But this one would read that I sold this for 42.0625. And I bought it back for 42.05. Made $6.25. This was a, can't call it a botched trade, but once I got in the trade, once I set my brackets, I clicked on the chart somewhere and it deleted my brackets. I was green on the trade. And once it deleted my brackets, I said, when this trade comes back up against me, around $5, I'm going to just get out of the trade. I'm going to just scratch the trade because otherwise I would have to sit here and just kind of babysit it. And I didn't really want to do that on this trade. I need to find a way to put brackets back in when I'm already in an order. I thought I had figured that out, put a bracket in, and it ended up putting me in another position later on, like after I thought I had closed out a position. It just, my phone went off and I looked and it said I was in a position. So I need to do some more research to figure out how to put an OCO bracket back in or in once I am actually in a trade. Let's look at a couple other areas of this TRADERVUE layout. Watch list is right here. It's no different. You click it, it's going to change the active ladder. It's going to change the chart right here. This area here shows you the positions that I was in today. So I only traded MESM3. If you caught my video over the weekend, I explained like how the symbol breaks down. M is for micro. So I was trading a micro E-mini for the ES. The M is the month designator. M tells you that this contract will expire in June, and the 3 designates 2023. So micro E-mini ES expiring June 23rd. I'm no longer in any positions. I bought 2, sold 2. Realized P&L 62.50. Nothing's open and no initial margin. Click right here. This will show you the actual orders that I was in, showing you the time in force, or the times that I entered, times that I exited. And I'll need this to be able to switch on over to Thinkorswim and actually look at the actual charts. We'll keep the 2-minute pulled up. Got the arrow turned on. I'm gonna go, and so I don't have to type that in. I'm gonna just come right here, click MES. There we go. Let's look at a big picture real quick, and then we'll come back to the 2-minute chart to actually look at those trades. But let's see. Let's get it all the way over to where we're at today. Just chopped around. ES is the same thing as the SPY, or the SPY is the same thing as the ES, however you want to look at it. So this chart is going to be pretty much a representation of the SPY. What I wanted to look at was the 5-week or the weekly chart. Do this though real quick. I'm gonna call this blank. And then I'm going to clear the drawing set just so we can just get a clean picture of what the weekly is doing. So we just kind of been chopping around on the ES. ES is not as clean as the NQ. But also what I wanted to peek at, let's look at the 1-day chart over here. And this is the one that I like. What I'm going to do here is drop a line right there on this candle today that finished. Let's come on out and let's look. And we've got resistance right here. We'll come up to 42.2750. Go ahead and drop that line. That's all we are dealing with to get over the 52-week high on the MES. That's it. That is 113 points. 113 points. The ATR, which is right here, is 50 points, usually a day. So this is basically saying that if we have a 2-day rally, we can get over the 52-week high for MES, and we will be blue skies like we were on MNQ last week. So I am still bullish on the SPY and on MES. Because if we could break this candle right here, we're selling up there to that other area, 43.27. But let's go ahead. Let's take a peek at these trades real quick. Let's get up out of here. So looking over here at TRADERVUE, I took this entry at 5:29, 8:27 in the evening. So let's come on over. 5:29, 8:27 in the evening. And I'll drop an arrow at the time that I got it. So it was getting in off of this candle on the 2-minute. Nope, this candle. And I'm entering at 42.2375. 42.23. Bam, close enough. I'm going to drop a line right there and then go up here and change this to an arrow. And then I can come back down and drop an actual arrow just so I can keep my place. So getting in 42.2376. You look at that and you would probably say, look around. LMD, that's like no man's land. Why are you buying right there to go long? You got VWAP right above it. Moving averages is in no real kind of trend going either way. My thought on this, if you look down here below it, you got previous high of day. My thought was, I'm going to take this trade and I'm going to put my stop down here below it. So entry 42.23.82. I'm going to give this 3 points, which means that my stop would need to be around 42.20. That's 3 points. 42.20 right there. That's where my stop was going to be at. If this comes down here, I'm risking 3 points. MES is $5 per point. So I'm risking $15 on this trade, with my reward being, we'll just see how this thing grinds all day or all evening. So let's take a look at it. I'm in right there. Thing just chops around, and it finally catches that traction that I'm looking for. Notice I had dropped these lines. Look at how they're acting. I catch the move that I am looking for. Like I said, I woke up around 5-ish, looked at my phone, saw how the trade was looking. I ended up getting out of this trade at 5:29. So that's 5 into 5:28 candle. That's that candle right there. Got out at 42.35. 42.35 as this is coming back down, stopping me out at the bottom of that candle. This is a 2-minute chart. Yeah, I thought I had set it at a pivot. That's where I set it at. I set it using this kind of as, that's exactly where I set it at. So imagine this line being right here. That's what I used. I should have gave this, I'm going to remove that arrow. I should have gave it a little bit more room than that. And I still would have got stopped out coming over here because I didn't really have a target in mind. I just was like letting this kind of work. But getting out in this candle, and like I said, risking $15. I made, what did we say we made on that? I made 56. So 45 is 3R. I made a little over 3R. Let's take a peek at this last trade real quick. Got in this one at 140. Up. Come on, man. Let's bring this over. Got in this one at 140. So getting in on this candle right here. I'm about to say, why is my center button not working? There we go. Getting in 140. I got in at 42.06. So I'll drop the arrow there. Getting in as this is pushing back down. So getting in at 42.06. My stop was up here, 42.11. So was giving this like 5 points, $25. Thing was, it only had room down to this tail right here. If you really want to know the truth, that's going to be my first area of concern. So this trade didn't really have the room that it needed for me to be taking this trade. I had to give it extra room back up to the top of the 20 moving average. Couldn't really use these candles over here. I had to give it extra room. I get out of this trade at 154 as it's coming back down through this candle. And like I said, I got out because TRADERVUE took my brackets out of the system, or I took them out of the systems, not knowing how. But this thing does eventually push on down. Wouldn't have gotten 2R out of the trade. Probably would have been closer to maybe 1.5R. But once this thing would have broke this wick, I definitely would have been chasing my stop down. And then if you remember, this thing caught traction off of the 50 moving average and just ripped. Or I guess that was the SPY we were looking at, where the 50 moving average was right there. But that's what we did today. And I still took up 20 minutes. If you're still watching, I definitely appreciate it. I like looking at these charts, and I guess a lot of times I can kind of get absorbed in them. But if you hadn't already hit that like button, please do so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. Kind of mad I won't be able to trade in the mornings the rest of this week. Playing golf in the morning, and then I got a convention the next 2 days after that. So I won't be able to trade in the mornings, but I will be looking to take some evening trades on the futures. And like I said, I'm gonna work on this script. If I can get it working, I'll be curious to see how it acts. So again, thanks for checking me out. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.